Good Monday morning to you all. This is Mitch. Hope you guys are having a great start to your Monday, a great start to your week. Got a couple things we need to talk about this morning. Nothing significant or severe or dangerous to talk about or anything like that. We're going to give you an update of what can happen weather-wise for your Monday, first day of the work week, and talk about a couple things for you guys. Expecting two areas to really watch out for severe weather. These two areas are under a slight risk for severe weather today. So we're going to talk a little bit about that this morning and then let you get on with your day. But if you guys have not subscribed, definitely consider doing that. Like the video if you like it. Appreciate y'all support in these very, very slow times right now. But I appreciate people who continue to tune in and view my videos. It's really much appreciated. Hit me up on Facebook if you guys got a Facebook or Twitter. I'm definitely trying to promote my Facebook. I know not everybody does social media, and I completely understand that. There's nothing but normally negative stuff on social media. But if you do have a Facebook, hit that icon right there and give my page a like. Be much appreciated. Trying to get to 10,000 likes before the end of 2022. It's a big goal of mine. I'm just shy of 5,000 right now, so definitely do that. If you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. Gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives a lot of other people an opportunity to pray over it also. You guys got any questions, concerns in the comments? Please do it now because we're in a slow period. I can get much more detailed with you guys during the slow periods as of if it's really busy. It's very hard to get detailed with y'all's questions when it's really busy. Kind of like January and February, for example, when I was getting 200, 250 comments a video, and it was very hard to get detail when I really wanted to. So definitely take advantage of them slower times. I'm up for suggestions, things like that. So let's get rolling here. So like I said, two areas to watch. This big slight risk right here for severe storms. And then this area right here, what we got going on with a pattern is kind of a northwest flow event. So you got a ridge that's building in parts of the southwest, and you got a flow that's kind of carving around that ridge from this direction, and then it kind of buckles down here and then moves into the south central U.S. and then areas of the mid-south. So that is the flow that's going on. We call this a northwest flow. There's other things that are called a northwest flow too, when you can have snow in the southern Appalachian Mountains, things like that. But this is different. A nickname for this part of the year or this setup is Mesoscale Convective System Season. I know that's really long, but think of it as MCS season. So this is basically when you have complex of thunderstorms that can move through overnight and kind of move through portions of the country. And as this ridge scoots a little further east, these threats shift east. So we'll try to break that down a little bit further, a little bit better here in the coming days. But we need to watch out for severe weather in these two areas. Tornado risk is also in these two areas. Not that big, a 2% risk in these areas, but this does include areas of a more heavily populated area like the Quad States region, including Nashville, Jackson, Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. This includes Little Rock. So we're expecting a line of storms to move through this area a little bit later today. And then you got the wind threat, 15% risk in each of these areas, and the slight risk, and then the hail threat. But we're not seeing any hatch regions or anything like that. So what's going on right now on water vapor loop is you got this one area that your eyes probably go straight towards, and this is a leftover MCS, a mesoscale convective system that's flowing across the middle of the country, south central U.S. And if you look at this per the radar scope out the Fort Smith radar, what's left over it is still kind of moving through areas of Arkansas, areas of southeast Oklahoma, but it's definitely lost some steam. No severe thunderstorm warnings up right now. And this is what happens. They move through overnight, pack a punch, and then they start to lose some steam as pretty much all the dynamics begin to diminish when you lose that daytime heating, things like this. But the leftover piece of this energy will start to pivot into this part of the country right here, the Quad States regions, the Mid-South, and will re-energize. It'll move into more of a prime atmosphere with daytime heating, and instability will occur, and this leftover piece of energy will re-fire up a little bit later this afternoon. And really, you see what's going on here. I'll briefly discuss this. Not going to bore y'all to death with these details, but you see this red right here, that is ridging. Not a lot, but enough. The blue right here is troughing. Think of it as a cold front. And kind of in between these is basically where the jet is situated. So this is where systems fly across. So today you have a ridging across the southwest. So the flow is going between this right here. So you have pieces of energy that are flowing around this boundary. You can call it a boundary. So therefore, the nastiest weather, or the area where you're going to see the highest storm coverage, is in this region right into here, where you have pieces of energies or low pressures, whatever you want to call it, that fly across the jet right here in between the ridge and the trough. So this is what we watch, and in general we'll watch as this ridge might shift a little further east in the coming days, increasing the thunderstorm risk for maybe areas further east, maybe towards the end of the week or something like that. But let's talk about the southeast. Here's that leftover energy right here. We're getting into later in the morning, Monday, and here it is. It's still weak. We're getting into around 10, 11 a.m., maybe around lunchtime, Eastern time. And then this area of energy begins to re-energize. This is around lunchtime for Memphis. Got some storms already moving through, firing back up. And then these storms will refire up for areas of the Mid-South and the Ohio Valley, and this is where you watch out. Now, if you're thinking, I can barely see this on the screen, hold tight. We'll get a little bit closer for you folks up here in southern Illinois, southern Indiana, Kentucky, and western Tennessee. Hold on one second. But check out down here in the southeast, areas of southeast Georgia, areas of far southern South Carolina, some pop-up showers and storms. Northern Florida could certainly happen today with just normal daytime heating building into this region. A lot more higher moisture content at the surface will allow for pop-up showers and storms. These could produce strong to severe storms like any kind of pop-up shower and storm can in the summertime. So watch out for that today. And, even if you're in these areas and there's only a 20, 30, 40% chance of storms, that does not mean there's necessarily a low chance of storms, because you just don't know if one's going to pop up right on top of you. But let's take a little bit of a closer look at what could happen today across this portion of the country. Here's this leftover energy. Let's make sure this is in hour intervals. So this is around midday, and you already got showers and storms moving through Illinois, Indiana. The severity level of these will probably be lessened, but as we move into later in the afternoon, the evening hours, watch out for this little bowing right here in this line of storms. These could produce damaging winds, a quick tornado moving through the Quad States regions, areas of western Tennessee, western Kentucky, areas of southern Illinois, and southeast Missouri. And to the afternoon hours, these will continue through the evening hours and continue to intensify somewhat. But there's also going to be showers and storms up here in northern Indiana, southeast Iowa, and then maybe even areas of northeast Missouri. But this is where the dynamics are the best down here for severe weather. So if you're in southern Indiana, maybe later in the evening hours into the western Kentucky regions, these could produce damaging winds. These mesoscale convective systems can definitely produce damaging winds. They have a history of doing so, especially when they can get intense and really bow out. You definitely have a threat for damaging winds, but also some hail also is possible with this. Moving forward here in the Northeast, not a whole lot going on out here. As we get later in the afternoon, evening hours, watch out Ohio, even southern areas of Michigan. Watch out Cleveland, for example, Dayton. You guys could certainly see some storms a little bit later this afternoon, evening around dinner time, and then some showers will start to make their way into areas of New York State into the overnight hours, but I'm not expecting any severe weather, just some more widespread rain moving in for sure. The south central U.S., not a whole lot going on for you guys until these storms right here fire up, and this is the other area of severe weather we need to watch out for Kansas, areas of Nebraska and Oklahoma. Big time storms will fire up. Remember, ridging is over the west. So, low pressures like you see right here are popping up along this boundary, along the top base of the ridge and the base of the trough. And then you have pieces of energy that flow through that provide lift with the boundary. And then you have an area of severe storms that could really pop up in eastern Colorado and in western Kansas, maybe western areas of Oklahoma a little bit later this afternoon, this evening. But, you got to watch out for Nebraska too, because so you can have some big time storms up in this region too, especially as you get later into the evening hours. And then this will eventually kind of form into one of those mesoscale convective systems and continue to scoot across the south central U.S. And potentially you're waking up to another rocky morning in areas of eastern Oklahoma and western Arkansas tomorrow morning again. For the north central U.S., not a whole lot going on except, maybe down here in Iowa, down here in South Dakota and Nebraska, obviously, where you're going to have severe weather threats. But the extreme areas of the north central U.S., kind of quiet day, a cooler day. Not cool as in it's cold, but it's definitely not going to feel much like summer up here, more so in the 60s and 70s. But some storms are definitely possible down here. Some of these could be supercell in nature, and then more just a widespread rain up here in North Dakota. But you can tell that there is a stout northwest flow with all this energy working from the northwest to the southeast, just like that. I mean, it's a classic example of it, but maybe some scattered showers. But we'll see what happens with this, but we're really watching this area right here for severe weather for sure. Temperature wise, with the ridge starting to flex, especially in areas of Texas. Areas of Texas could warm almost, some areas could hit 110 degrees a day. It's going to be a very hot day. It's a dry heat, but it's 110 is 110. It's very hot, obviously. But once you get out the influence of this ridging, it's just normal kind of June temperatures in the 80s, 70s, and 60s for the Northeast. For the north central U.S., it's still nice weather, even though y'all are under the influence of a little bit of troughing. Still 60s and 70s, and still a nice day, unless you're tucked up right against the lakes where you have a flow off the cooler waters of the lakes that cool y'all down. But in general, Chicago, a nice day today. Minneapolis, a nice day today. Cleveland, Detroit, nice weather today across this part of the country, unless if they're calling for storms, then you got to watch out for that this afternoon. But like I said, ridging across the southwest. The flow is around it, so obviously no rain across the southwest when you have ridging and high pressure right on top of you. But the flow is rounding the top base or the top areas of this ridging of high pressure. So you still got an active pattern up here in the northwest and the northern areas of the Rockies where you just got numerous showers and storms, Idaho, Montana, yada, yada, yada. The same states that seem to always get a lot of rain as of late. So expect that. Temperatures out here cooler, where you have the cold front in place with the cooler air influenced by that cold front. But you guys are definitely warming up down here with the ridging in place. But still, it's weak ridging, but it's enough to provide steering currents for the storms to its north. But at the same time, it's not a death ridge, but it's really heating up Texas regardless, and Mexico. Very warm weather, but once you get out the influence of this, you cool off. But that's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. God bless all y'all. Have a great, awesome Monday.